When you've lived on the same piece of land for 40 years, every tree, every creek bend, every rusted fence post feels like part of your soul. My ranch in Willow Creek wasn't much by city standards, 200 acres of scrub oak, mesquite, and stubborn red dirt, but it was mine. So when the Willow Ridge Homeowners Association decided to run a water pipeline straight through my property without my say-so, I didn't just see it as an inconvenience, I saw it as trespass. It started with a letter of polite, condescending notice tucked under my gate latch, something about a necessary infrastructure improvement for the community. The HOA's new subdivision had sprouted up like a rash across the hills, and now they wanted my well water to feed their manicured lawns and sparkling blue pools. I called the number on the letter. A man named Trevor answered, his voice slick as fresh paint. "Mr. Callahan, it's a shared resource," he said. "You can't just hoard groundwater." I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the phone. "Son," I said, "I drilled that well before your mama graduated high school. You don't get to call it shared now." A month later, I found men in hard hats digging trenches across my north pasture. They had permits courtesy of some obscure clause the HOA's lawyers dug up about easement rights for community benefit. They didn't even have the decency to tell me to my face. So I watched them work. I watched as they laid that shiny steel snake across my land, bolting it to the earth like they owned the place. And I said nothing, not then. But I remembered every valve, every pressure joint, every weakness. By late summer, the pipeline was finished, and the HOA held some ribbon-cutting ceremony with cheap champagne and local news cameras. Trevor sent me another letter, this one thanking me for my cooperation. I framed it in my barn, right next to my rifle rack. Then the lawn started drinking. The sprinklers hissed through the night. Fountains burbled in front of $700,000 homes, and their perfect little world flourished while my pastures dried up. That's when I made my move. One night, under a fat harvest moon, I drove my old Ford out to the far edge of the property. The coyotes were singing, the air sharp with dust. I parked by the control shed, lifted the hatch, and turned those valves with slow, deliberate precision until I heard the soft, satisfying thunk of silence. By morning, Willow Ridge was a desert. Their fountains choked, lawns crisped, and garden parties wilted. The HOA sent crews to check the line, but somehow, they couldn't find the problem. It took them 2 weeks to realize what I'd done, and by then, they were knee-deep in complaints and lawsuits from angry homeowners. Trevor showed up at my gate, red-faced and sweating. "You can't just shut off the community water," he barked. I leaned on the fence, calm as Sunday morning. "You built your pipeline through my land," I said. "Looks like you built your problem here too." They eventually rerouted their water line around my property this time. The grass in Willow Ridge grew back, but the lesson stuck. Out here, we don't fight with lawyers. We fight with valves. And the land remembers who respects it and who doesn't.